The Genographic Project, launched on April 13, 2005 by the National Geographic Society and IBM, is a multi-year genetic anthropology study that aims to map historical human migration patterns by collecting and analyzing DNA samples from hundreds of thousands of people from around the world. Overview, created and led by Project Director Dr. Spencer Wells from 2005 to 2015. Field researchers at 11 regional centers around the world collect DNA samples from indigenous populations. The project also sells self-testing kits to members of the general public. The project is a privately funded, not-for-profit collaboration between the National Geographic Society, IBM and the Waite Foundation. In fall 2012, the Genographic Project announced the completion of a new genotyping array, dedicated to genetic anthropology, called the GenoChip. GenoChip is specifically designed for anthropological testing and includes SNPs from autosomal DNA, X chromosome DNA, Y chromosome DNA and mitochondrial DNA. The design of the new chip was a collaborative effort between Spencer Wells of National Geographic, Dr. Eran Elhaik of Johns Hopkins, Family Tree DNA, and Illumina. Geno 2.0 test equals. The admixture test developed by Wells and Elhaik classifies individuals by assessing their proportions of genomic ancestry related to 9 ancestral regions: Northeast Asian, Mediterranean, Southern African, Southwest Asian, Oceanian, Southeast Asian, Northern European, Sub-Saharan African and Native American. Citizen involvement. Since 2005, Genographic has used volunteers and citizen science projects. Such outreach for public participation in research has been encouraged by organizations such as International Society of Genetic Genealogy, which is seeking to promote benefits from scientific research. This includes supporting, organization and dissemination of personal DNA testing. ISOGG, the International Society of Genetic Genealogy, supports citizen participation in genetic research, and believes such volunteers have provided valuable information and research to the professional scientific community. In a 2013 speech to the Southern California Genealogical Society, Spencer Wells, director of the Genographic Project, discussed its encouragement of citizen scientists. Since 2005, the Genographic Project has used the latest genetic technology to expand our knowledge of the human story, and its pioneering use of DNA testing to engage and involve the public in the research effort has helped to create a new breed of citizen scientist. Geno 2.0 expands the scope for citizen science, harnessing the power of the crowd to discover new details of human population history. Human rights criticism. See also, Archaeology of the Americas, Models of Migration to the New World. Shortly after the announcement of the project in April 2005, the Indigenous Peoples Council on Biocolonialism, based in Nevada, released a statement criticizing the project. Spokespersons noted its connections to controversial issues raised by the Human Genome Diversity Project, which had government overview, unlike this private project. The IPCB recommended against Indigenous people participating. It also recommended that Indigenous peoples boycott IBM, Gateway Computers, and National Geographic, which are collaborating on the Genographic Project. In May 2006, some Indigenous representatives went to United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues to contest participation in genetic testing. A spokesman said, "The Genographic Project is exploitative and unethical because it will use indigenous peoples as subjects of scientific curiosity in research that provides no benefit to indigenous peoples, yet subjects them to significant risks. Researchers will take blood or other bodily tissue samples for their own use in order to further their own speculative theories of human history." UNTFIR conducted investigations into the objectives of the Genographic Project, and concluded that, since the project was conceived and has been initiated without appropriate consultation with or regard for the risks to its subjects, the indigenous peoples, the Council for Responsible Genetics concludes that the indigenous peoples' representatives are correct and that the project should be immediately suspended. Around May 2006, the UNTFIR recommended that National Geographic and other sponsors suspend the project. concerns whether the knowledge gleaned from the research could clash with long-held beliefs of indigenous peoples and threaten their cultures. There were also concerns that indigenous claims to land rights and other resources could be threatened. As of December 2006, some federally recognized tribes in the United States have declined to take part in the study. What the scientists are trying to prove is that we're the same as the Pilgrims except we came over several thousand years before, said Maurice Foggs, chairman of the Massachusetts Commission on Indian Affairs and a member of the Mashpee Wampanoag. Why should we give them that openly? Not all peoples agree with his position. As of December 2012, more than 70,000 indigenous participants from the Americas, Africa, Asia, Europe, and Oceania had joined the project. See also. References: ABC http www.genewatch.org Privacy Responsible Genographics HTML http GBI Oxford Journals Org 51021 Full PDF plus HTML. Who Am I? Regions Overview, Bonnie, R. and La Branch, M. Citizen Science, Involving the Public in Research, ASTC Dimensions, May-June 2004, pages 13. Barreto, C., Fastovsky, D. and Sheehan, PA Model for Integrating the Public into Scientific Research, Journal of Geoscience Education, 50. Pages 71 to 75. McCaffrey, R.E. Using Citizen Science in Urban Bird Studies, Urban Habitats, 3. Pages 70 to 86. King, Churi E. Jobling, Mark A. What's in a Name? Y Chromosomes, Surnames and the Genetic Genealogy Revolution. Trends in Genetics 25, 351 Euro 60 doi, 10.1016/JTIG. 2009.06.003. PMID 19665817. The International Society of Genetic Genealogy advocates the use of genetics as a tool for genealogical research, and provides a support network for genetic genealogists. It hosts the ISO-GGY haplogroup tree, which is the virtue of being regularly updated. Mendex, etc. al. Fernando. An African-American paternal lineage adds an extremely ancient root to the human Y chromosome phylogenetic tree. The American Society of Human Genetics pages 454 Euro 459. Retrieved July 10, 2013. Wells, Spencer. The Genographic Project and the Rise of Citizen Science. Southern California Genealogical Society. Retrieved July 10, 2013. Harry, Deborah and Lea Malia Canyu. Genetic Research, Collecting Blood to Preserve Culture? Cultural Survival, 29.4. Accessed February 4, 2014. A. B. Harmon, Amy. DNA Gatherers Hit Snag, Tribes Don't Trust Them. The New York Times. United Nations recommends halt to Genographic Project IPCB. External links, official sites, Genographic Project, official site at National Geographic, IBM Genographic Project, official site at IBM, supporting participants, Waite Family Foundation, Arizona Research Laboratories, Family Tree DNA, news articles, Finding the Roots of Modern Humans. CNN. April 14, 2005. Genographic Project aims to tell us where we came from. USA Today. April 17, 2005. Indigenous Peoples Oppose National Geographic, Indigenous Peoples Council on Biocolonialism, April 13, 2005. Tracking the Truth, DB2 Magazine, information about IBM's role in the project. December 2006. Genographic Success Stories, Crusaders Left Genetic Legacy. BBC News March 27, 2008. Human line nearly split in two. BBC News April 24, 2008. Videos, Spencer Wells, Building a Family Tree for All Humanity on YouTube, on TED, August 29, 2008.